Welcome to the CISO Daily Update.
Live updates. Global tech outage grounds flights and hits businesses. A global technical outage on Friday disrupted services across multiple industries, grounding flights, halting news broadcasts, and affecting financial transactions. Major U.S. airlines such as American, United, and Delta were grounded, while Sydney Airport in Australia experienced delays. The cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike was identified as a key affected service provider, though no comment was available. Additionally, Capitec Bank in South Africa reported disruptions, and several UK services, including train networks and Sky News, were all impacted. Judge mostly drags SEC's lawsuit against SolarWinds into the recycling bin. A judge has mostly dismissed the SEC's lawsuit against SolarWinds and its CISO, which accused them of misleading investors about their cybersecurity practices following the Sunburst cyber attack. U.S. Federal District Judge Paul Engelmayer rejected all post-Sunburst claims, citing insufficient evidence and reliance on hindsight. However, the judge upheld the SEC's securities fraud claims related to pre-Sunburst statements about the security of SolarWinds' Orion product. SolarWinds expressed satisfaction with the ruling and looks forward to presenting their evidence to counter the remaining claims. The SEC declined to comment on the decision. AT&T reports arrest made in April hack, updates affected customers. AT&T reported an arrest in connection with the April hack that affected 109 million customers, revealing FBI and DOJ involvement, which delayed public disclosure. The breach involved call and text records from nearly all AT&T customers. Despite paying a ransom to shiny hunters, it's unclear if the group was responsible for this attack. AT&T advised customers to be cautious of phishing and smishing scams and provided guidelines to protect personal information and verify communications from AT&T. USPS shared customer postal addresses with Meta, LinkedIn, and Snap. The U.S. Postal Service inadvertently shared customers' postal addresses with Meta, LinkedIn, and Snap through hidden tracking pixels on its website, specifically affecting informed delivery users. USPS claimed unawareness, halted the practice upon discovery, and reinforced their position that they don't sell personal information. The issue potentially impacts millions of users and involved USPS scraping data from web pages after customers logged in. The data was then shared with partner companies. Weaponized AWS packages, spreading malware through innocent-looking JPEGs. Cybercriminals deployed a sophisticated attack on the NPM registry, hiding malicious code within seemingly innocent image files of popular tech logos. This steganography technique, similar to a previous Pi attack, executes harmful scripts during package installation. The malware is concealed in a modified AWS S3 object multipart copy library and analyzes embedded images to extract and execute hidden code. If successful, it establishes communication with a command and control server to register the victim's system details and await further instructions. Revolver Rabbit Gang registers 500,000 domains for malware campaigns. The cybercriminal gang, known as Revolver Rabbit, has registered over 500,000 domain names using registered domain generation algorithms to run large-scale infostealer campaigns targeting Windows and macOS systems. These domains, costing around $1 million in registration fees, are used to distribute the Xloader malware, collect sensitive information, and execute malicious files. Revolver Rabbit's RDGA strategy differs from traditional DGAs as all generated domains are registered, making it harder to detect and prevent. The domains often feature dictionary words, followed by 5-digit numbers covering various topics or regions. SolarWinds fixes 8 critical bugs in access rights audit software. SolarWinds addressed 8 critical vulnerabilities in its Access Rights Manager software, which helps manage and audit IT access rights. 6 of these flaws allow remote code execution with severity scores of 9.6 out of 10, enabling attackers to execute commands on unpatched systems. Additionally, 3 critical directory traversal vulnerabilities permit arbitrary file deletion and data exposure. A high-severity authentication bypass flaw could give unauthorized users domain admin access in Active Directory. These vulnerabilities were patched in ARM version 2024.3. Critical Splunk flaw can be exploited to grab passwords. Splunk patched a critical path traversal vulnerability, CVE 2024-36-991, in its Splunk enterprise software on Windows. Using a crafted GET request, the Splunk web interface flaw allows attackers to access files outside the restricted directory without authentication. This vulnerability affects versions below 9.2.2, 9.1.5, and 9.0.10. Threat researchers from SonicWall highlighted the flaw's severity, which could expose up to 230,000 servers. Admins are urged to upgrade to a fixed version or disable Splunk Web to mitigate the risk. SAP AI core flaws expose sensitive customer data and keys. Security researchers found several vulnerabilities in SAP AI core that exposes sensitive customer data and cloud credentials. The flaws uncovered risks in tenant isolation within AI infrastructure, allowing attackers to execute arbitrary code and access sensitive data. The exploits included modifying Docker images, gaining cluster administrator privileges on Kubernetes, and accessing private AI artifacts. SAP confirmed all vulnerabilities have been fixed and no customer data was compromised. Wiz emphasized the importance of strong guardrails to separate untrusted code from internal assets and other tenants in AI training processes. New VPN port shadow vulnerability let hackers intercept encrypted traffic. A new vulnerability named Port Shadow was discovered, allowing hackers to intercept encrypted VPN traffic, reveal user identities, and scan devices behind a VPN server. This attack exploits flaws in connection tracking frameworks within operating systems, particularly targeting Layer 3 VPNs. Researchers identified 3 vulnerabilities: the adjacent to in path attack, which redirects VPN connection requests to attackers by spoofing IP and port collisions; the eviction ports reroute attack, which reroutes incoming packets post-client disconnection; and the shared private IP space exploitation, which enables port scanning of machines behind the VPN. Hackers could create traffic jams thanks to flaw in traffic light controller, researcher says. A critical flaw in Intelite X1 traffic light controllers could allow hackers to manipulate traffic signals and cause chaos. The vulnerability stems from a lack of authentication on the device's web interface, potentially enabling unauthorized access to about 30 exposed devices. While safeguards prevent all lights from turning green simultaneously, attackers could alter signal timing to disrupt traffic flow. Qfree, Intelite's parent company, responded with legal threats rather than addressing the issue. U.S. data breach victim numbers surge 1,170% annually. U.S. data breach victims surged over 1,000 annually in Q2 2024, despite a 12% decrease in incidents. This rise was driven by a few large breaches, including Prudential Financial and Infosys McCamish System revising their victim counts significantly upward. H1 2024 saw 1.08 billion breach victims, a 490% increase from H1 2023. The ITRC noted that supply chain attacks and unspecified breach causes have intensified. Financial services saw a 67% YOY increase in breaches, while healthcare breaches dropped 37%, making it the second most compromised sector. Driver's license data theft occurred in 25% of breaches. Threat actors ramp up use of encoded URLs to bypass secure email. Threat actors are increasingly leveraging secure email gateways to bypass email security measures by encoding malicious URLs. This tactic, which saw a surge in Q2 2024, exploits the tendency of some SIGs to trust or inadequately scan URLs already encoded by other SEGs. Popular email security gateways like Viper, Bitdefender, Hornet Security, and Barracuda have been abused in this manner. While not a new technique, its growing use poses challenges for organizations relying on SEGs for protection. Defending against this tactic is difficult due to limited SEG tuning options.
Thanks for listening. Remember to subscribe to our newsletter at CISOheadlines.com. Until next time, stay curious.